Good morning. This is a screencast to demonstrate the Word Chapter 1 simulation training exercise, which is an assignment that's due next week. So to do that, to access the assignment from the home page, we can either go to the syllabus link, or we can select this syllabus button over here, or we can go to the modules and navigate to module 2, but I'm just gonna go to the syllabus link here and scroll down until I find the Word Chapter 1 simulation training in the list of assignments, and it's right. Let's see. It's due Sunday, September 3rd, which is a week from Sunday, but we're going to do it today so I can demonstrate to you how it works, and you can practice it a couple of times. So if you click on that Word Chapter 1 simulation training, it'll launch the assignment, and eventually it will render the folder structure for my IT labs, and you can go to, in this case we want to go to Module 2 or Week 2 and find the Word Chapter 1 simulation training assignment. So if we click on this folder here that says Week 2, it'll open this up, and then inside that folder is this Word Chapter 1 simulation training. I've already done it once, so it shows that there's a score and that it's passed, but you can do it multiple times, so I'm going to open it again and demonstrate how this is done. Once you launch that, it's going to put you into the simulation environment of my IT lab. And at the top here, this top part, you'll see is a window that looks just like Word. So in the bottom part, this menu bar below, I'm circling in red, is all it shows the instructions here. Here are the instructions. Right in this section here, and this tells you what it wants you to do. So you've got, right now we've got a blank document, and it's saying in the blank Word document above we want to show the non-printing format marks. So let's say you don't know how to do that. Maybe you do, but in case you don't, you've got this learning aids. So let me highlight that real quick. Learning aids button right here. And if you click on that pull down for the Learning Aids button, you can practice it, or you can watch a video, or you can read instructions on how to do it. So I'll just quickly demonstrate each one of those. So the practice, it will actually show you what to do. And this is probably the one you want to use most frequently. So if you click on that button, it shows the non-printing formatting marks. That's all you do. That's how simple it is on this step. If you wanted to read the instructions, you can bring up the instructions for this step, or more detailed instructions. Okay. You may have to get the Flash player if your computer doesn't have it installed. I'm guessing the ones that are in the lab here already have it installed. Okay, forget that. You can also watch a video. It'll explain how you do this.
To see where paragraphs begin and end, it is often helpful to display formatting marks. These are characters that display in your document to represent non-printing characters, such as paragraphs, spaces, and tabs. Let's turn on our formatting marks now. On the Home tab, in the Paragraph group, we'll click the Show Hide button.
So you get the idea how that works. So you can watch a video. I'm trying to get this size correctly. But this time, so we're going to do it. We're still on question 1. We're going to click on this paragraph formatting. Okay, and then you'll see in the dialog box below it switches to the next instruction, which is type Aspen Falls Human Resources and then press Enter. So just type Aspen Falls Human Resources and then press Enter. And then at the insertion point, after we pressed Enter, we want to type this 500 South Aspen Street. So 500 uppercase S, Aspen, uppercase A, Street, uppercase S, and then press Enter. And that completes question 1. So now we can see that we're on question 2 of 10, and that question, the next question is, in the recipient address, use a shortcut menu to ignore all instances of the word Gatto in the document. So in this address section here, we can see we've got this word Gatto that's underlined with a squiggly red line. That indicates that it's doesn't recognize that. So we're going to right click to get the shortcut menu. We right click it, and we want to ignore all instances of that. So we select the ignore all, and that completes that part of the question. The next part of the question is simultaneously apply the no spacing style to the first 2 lines of the letterhead. So to do that, we're going to highlight the first 2 lines, and up here in the styles section, we can select the no spacing style, and that takes care of that. So you can see by selecting the no spacing, it eliminated the spacing between the 2 lines, changes the formatting of it. Now, you'll notice that even though we didn't make changes to the document, it will do changes or provide you with a new document that you're working from with each question. So don't think that it's just you adding to the document. Sometimes the simulation environment changes the content of the letter and then asks you to do something. So in this case, we're going to center the first line. So to do that, we can click on, put our cursor on that first line, and up here in the paragraph section, this section right here, we're going to select the center, which is that little graphic that just shows right, the second one in the paragraph section. And so that'll center that first line. So in the next step in the paragraph that begins thank you, which is this paragraph here, we're going to change the word us, this word right here, to City Hall. So to do that, you just highlight it and then type over it. So City Hall like this. And that changes it to City Hall. And then you can see it moved on to the next part of question 3, which is select all the document text and apply the Calibri font. So again, if we don't know how to do that, we can select the practice and it'll show us how to do that. So I know that, and you probably know too, that if you do the Control A, it'll select all the text in the document. Sometimes if you've got a slow connection, this might take a little bit of time. But anyway,
press Control A,
so,
and then on the Home tab, in the font.
So after you do each one, it'll tell you to do the next one. So I did the Control A, that highlighted all the text, and then we want to click the font arrow and then select the Calibri font. And then once you've completed the practice, then you can do it yourself. So we're back now to the simulation environment. We can do the Control A to select all of the text, and then we can go up here to the font section on the pull down and select Calibri. And that'll change the font of all the text in the document. Because we have all the text selected, it changes it to that new font. On question 4, we're going to move to the end of the document, and with the insertion point at the end of the document, we're going to insert a manual page break. So to do that, we're going to use the Control End, will always take you to the end of the document. And then to insert a manual page break, we click on the Insert tab, and there's a page break on the left-hand side, the upper left-hand side of the menu ribbon right here. So if we select that, it'll insert a page break. And now we want the next part of the question is they want us to switch to the opened Word document, Word_intern positions. So down here at the bottom, just like you would see in if you were running Microsoft Office or Word in the Microsoft Office environment, you can see we've got two documents open. The one on the right is named Word_intern positions. The one on the left is just Word_interns. And if I zoom in on that, you can see the difference. Okay, what we want is the one on the right, so we're going to select the one on the right, and then we want to copy all the text to the clipboard. So we're going to use that Control-A command again to select all the text, and then we're going to use a Control-C, or we could go up here to the Home tab and select the the copy command. Okay, but I like to use the keyboard shortcuts, the Control-C and Control-V to paste. So then we're going to switch back to the other document, the Word_1 interns, and with the insertion point at the top, we're going to paste from the clipboard, or we can do a Control-V. And that pastes that text into the document. And that completes step 5. So then we're going to move to the beginning of the document. To do that, we use the Control key and the Home key on our keyboard. That moves your cursor to the beginning. Oops, didn't hit the right key. Okay, so that should move it up to the beginning. And then we're going to start the spelling and grammar checker. To do that, we go up on the Review tab and click the Review menu and select the spelling and grammar. And then we're going to use this, that'll bring up this spelling pane on the right here, and we can use that to ignore the, or use that to delete the repeated word, so we're going to delete it. So select the delete key. And then we're also going to replace all occurrences of the misspelled word computer. You can see they spelled it with OR instead of ER. And we want to change all those, so we go down here to this Change All button and press that. And then we're going to use the spelling and grammar pane to change the punctuation error. So you can see under Employees has a squiggly blue line underlying it that indicates there's a grammar error. So we want to change the punctuation to that top option there. So we click the change and then click OK to complete the spelling and grammar check. Okay, in the Word Options dialog box, we're going to check the Recheck Document button and then click OK. So you're going to find the Word Options dialog box on the File menu. So we have to scroll down here. Well, I have to change the resolution so the options appears. So select Options, and then we're going to click on the Proofing under the Word Options, and then scroll down and recheck the document, and we want to click Yes, and then click the OK button to close that dialog box. Next, in this question, the next part of the question is in the paragraph below the heading Database Designers. So down here under Database Designers, in this paragraph here, there is a word "so." You can see it's got an underline or a blue squiggly line underlying it, and we're going to change that to "therefore." So To get that shortcut menu, you just position your cursor on the word and right-click, and you can change it to therefore. And in the paragraph starting, we offer other classes intermittently. We want to replace the word intermittently with the synonym occasionally. So to do that, we can use our shortcut menu again. So if you position your cursor on the word intermittently and you right-click, there's an option for synonyms, and one of the synonyms is occasionally. So you can change that word to occasionally. Oh, didn't change it for some reason. Oh, there it did. Okay, it's taking its time. And then on question 7 of 10, we're going to use the Format Painter to apply the formatting in the first line of the document. So we're going to highlight that first line. We're going to use our Formatting Painter, and you'll find that on the Home tab. And so Format Painter. If you click on the Format Painter once and then scroll down to this internship positions and select that, it'll copy the format from this Aspen Falls Human Resources down to that internship positions. And now we're going to take this heading here. If you double click on that, we can highlight that format. And this time we're going to double click on the Format Painter. And when you double click on the Format Painter, it'll keep it open. No, it didn't work. Okay. It will keep that Format Painter active until you're finished using it. And then to deactivate the Format Painter, you would click on it again. And so that's kind of a nice skill to understand how that works. Okay. Now we're going to select the first line of the document and apply the small caps font effect. So again, we take this first line, just the first line. Just drag your cursor across there and highlight that. And we're going to apply the small caps effect. So to do that, we have to go up here to the font, and we have to launch the menu to customize it. And once we launch that expanded menu under the font, we can select the small caps effect on right here. And then to change the character spacing, we have to go to the Advanced tab in that. And we're going to change the scale to 150. And we're going to change the spacing to expanded. And we want it expanded by 3 points. And for some reason, you can use these arrows here to increase it to 3 if you want. But sometimes it's kind of hard to hit that exactly. Or you can highlight that and just type over it. And then, so click OK to close the dialog box. And you can see that it makes kind of a nice effect on the heading of the document now. That small caps and changing the spacing of the scale makes it look a little more professional. Now we're going to use the footnote, or the footer of the document, and we're going to add the file name field. You may want to, when you print your documents out or display documents, want to have the file name down at the bottom in the footer. And to do that, we go to the Insert tab, and we go to the this section that has the header, footer, and page number. We're going to select footer, and then we're going to edit the footer. And once you're in the footer, they have these things called the section for inserting things. You can insert pictures, you can put the date and time, you can put document information like the author, so forth. But they also have this quick parts, which is what we're going to use. And we're going to use the field option under that, and we're going to use the file name field. So we scroll down and find that, and then click OK. and that will insert the file name in the footer of the document. And then the last step here, we're going to hide the formatting marks. So to hide them, do the same thing to show that we did to show them. We just click on this backwards P, and then we're going to set the view to display 2 pages. So we go up here to the View tab and select the Multiple Pages option, and that now changes the view to 2 pages. Now we can save the document as a PDF file. So to go do that, we do the File and select Save As. We're going to save it in the Documents folder, and we want it to be WRD01_interns PDF, so we have to add that uppercase PDF to the end of the file name. And then we want to do the Save As type. We want to save it as a PDF file. So we click on this pull-down menu, find the PDF option, select that, and click Save, and we are done. Should come back with OK, Submit Assignment. Click OK, and you completed that assignment, and that gets you the 100 points for the training simulation. Of course, doing it once may not be enough. You may want to do it 2 or 3 times so that you make sure you understand each one of the steps and can do this Word Chapter 1 simulation exam, which is very similar to the simulation training. You'll be using the same skills and exercising the same skills as you did in the simulation training. So that's it for that Word Chapter 1 simulation training.